It could be. So basically, you need to be able to find the volume of stuff squished between two curves, which might involve being able to find where the things intersect. So you need to know how to use your calculator. So you need to know how to use a calculator, again, whether it's yours or not.
What's the dash mark to the right of the 0?
You mean this?
Yes.
Okay, not telling you. You guys need to, if you can't see the scale because it's minuscule and tiny, where do these guys intersect?
1 and 2.
Right? So you might not even need a calculator, but yeah, find where the functions intersect, which is set them equal to each other. Be like, so where does 2x squared equals 2x? We could be all official about it. Oh, so you mean they intersect at 0 and 1?
Mm-hmm.
Keon, who finished his delta math like at 2 yesterday before class was even done.
I sent a picture. He sent a picture. Yeah. It was a little bit after.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make the Long Island come out. It's a bad day when that happens. What kind of shape are we finding?
Rectangle.
Rectangles? Oh my goodness, I don't know areas of rectangles. That's all like weird.
Yeah. Isn't it just a triangle if it's half?
So-
it's just a triangle.
Rectangles. And it's telling me each cross section is, these don't look like rectangles, but each cross section goes this way, perpendicular to the x-axis. Please realize they could have gone this way. What do I know about the base? What's the length of the base, Morgan? What's the length of the base? Does anyone have a Chromebook charger?
Yes.
For who? For
I did not get to see. Like, what did you have? 0.36. That's what I got.
Okay, all right, people are getting answers. So what's the length, Morgan? The distance from here to here.
2x minus 2.
2x squared minus 2x.
So the top curve, is the top curve 2x squared, or is the top 2x? So it's hard to see in this picture because of the solid shape they drew. You can't see, is it a rounded thing on top or is it a straight stick on top? But the straight line is up above. So the length of the base of that rectangle is the top curve minus the bottom curve. And what does it tell me the height is, Safal?
Half of the base.
Whose height is half of the base. So half of this. So Natalie, what is the area formula for my rectangle? Okay, so half of this squared. Ananya, what do I set up for an integral to calculate the volume of the food?
The integral goes out from 0 to 1, and then
Then the area formula, and I could put the half inside or outside. Okay, I would like you guys to type this in on your calculator to make sure you know how to use your calculator, which you are permitted to use on the exit card today. Alex, why are they going to call you Alex? Mr. Sir, Eric, do you have a calculator?
It's dead.
It's dead.
I searched triangle.
Yo, dude, that's gonna suck.
Isn't it like
I do have one on my phone.
You cannot use that for an actual assessment. You can use it for the warm up.
I thought it just be like.
We're having an actual
I feel like
assessment.
that's. It's
Exit card?
Look at this, and then it's like
Remember? It's like, do the homework.
This is not my job.
I can tell.
Oh, that's-
So, Liv, do you see how to set this up or no?
I did 45.
So, we have this shape described, the length of this distance here, top curve minus bottom curve, you get this. In words, you have to read the problem said, the height of that rectangle is half the width. So, area of a rectangle, base times height. And Ananya said to now get volume, there's that thickness is the dx. So type it in on the calculator. Rashim, what do I type in? Math 9. 9.
I don't know how to do it.
Okay, so this looks yucky. Parentheses, again, I'm going to type in what I wrote over there. 2x minus 2x squared, close the parentheses, divide by that 2, so I wanted half of that, comma, I'm integrating with respect to x for the bounds that Ananya told me, comma 0, comma 1, close the parentheses.
Forgot the
Yeah, I think
square.
I forgot the squared. So, I did that on purpose so I could show you this. Second entry is like, oopsie, I forgot something. And now I'll arrow over to here. And right here, I will say second insert squared.
That would have made it.
See, I did that on purpose as a learning moment.
Of course.
You're welcome. I will do more of those on purpose. Okay. Good? All right, let's try another shape. This is for the 6 of you who did not do delta math.
Wait, when did you check the delta math?
I did it last period.
Yeah,
Does that
exactly. I
count?
did it last period. So
Yeah,
technically-
does that count?
No.
Good morning, Sparky. Who does not have a calculator? 3 of you.
I need to set an alarm or a reminder on my phone because I have one that I told me about the SAT that I never get answers.
What?
And it's a problem.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, just do you know the height?
How was the vote?
Just going back to my It was pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to do like the window vote.
Zoom 6 says window be normal. Isaiah.
I think it's right.
Maybe. It's always a surprise.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Gosh, how do I do this thing? What is the shape being described?
It would be 5x plus 2 squared over 2, which is carry, because it's like base times height over 2.
So 5x plus 2 is this guy. 2 e to the x, is that going to be above or below?
Yeah, that would be above. Below.
So what's the intercept for this one? When x is 0, what is 2 e to the x?
2.
2, because e to the 0 is 1, then times 2. So they're going to meet here. Okay, so at 2, e squared, let's say e is about, I don't know, 3, or if we want to go low, 2, you do get a calculator, but e squared, e is almost 3.
Was it 2.7?
3 squared and then times 2. So what does it come out to be?
1.619.
Times 2?
Oh, that's where they intersect.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to just say, does the graph, like, 2e to the x goes like this? Which curve is on top? The straight line until we get to 1 point.
How do we know that?
You get a calculator for these for 1. So you would type it in. But this intersection was 0, 2, and Isaiah?
Why does it look weird like on the bottom?
Because they were trying to draw the 3D shapes coming up, and it doesn't look so great. So, Asher, what did you say this intersection point was? 1.619, comma, something. Do you guys know how to find this coordinate?
Yes.
No. Okay. Well, at least one person said no. So, in the y equals 5x plus 2, and again in the y equals 2, e, where are you? E to the x. Zoom 6. Okay, not the best window. Window 0, 2. So there's my straight line, and there's my curvy dude. Okay, so how do I find where they intersect, Carmen?
You go to second trace.
Second trace, which is calculate. Number 5, which is calculate the intersection. And it's blinking and saying first curve, so enter. And then it moves to the second equation in there, and is that the second line we want? Yes. And then it says guess. And here is where the TI-83 and 84 and pluses and stuff do kind of different things. Right here, I kind of think it's going to take the first one to the right, but some of them back up. Or if it's closer to the one on the left, they're going to take the left. If it's closer to the one on the right, it'll take that. Let's see what this one does. I believe it's going to the right. Yes, 1.6187. Oh. That's interesting. Yeah.
Is there a way to like copy the intersection point so that you can then?
So I can quit right now if I type in X, there it is. And then so that I don't bump anything, I'm gonna hit the little STO button over the on, and I'm gonna put it in A.
What was interesting?
It looks like the golden ratio, the number 1.618, and I don't remember the rest of them. But anyway, so there's my intersection points. Good with that, Leo? Okay. But the shape that's being described is a triangle, isosceles right triangle, and it says the leg of that triangle is sitting flat on that region. So here's my triangle, and they're perpendicular to the x-axis, so they slice this way. So, Carson, what is the length of the leg of the triangle?
The same as the height, so it's 5x plus 2 minus 2 e to the x.
And the area of the triangle then, Eric? Area of the triangle with that base, and he just said the base and the height are the same because it's an isosceles right triangle, and the
That squared over 1/2.
that squared over 1/2. Okay, can you guys prove to me that you can type that in and get an answer?
Or how'd you do that thing where you like want to replace it?
Oh, I'm not gonna say it.
Just the,
You gotta figure out how to type this in on your calculator.
no, I know how to, I already did that. I'm talking about the, if you put in the wrong number.
Oh,
The
okay.
entry, second-
No, I know the entry part. I'm talking about after, but you don't
So-
want to like write it out twice.
Second entry, and if I do it again, if I do it one more time, I get that old one.
Yeah, no.
And now arrow to wherever you want. If I wanted this not squared, I'll just hit delete. And if I say, oh, oops, I actually did want it squared.
Okay.
Second above delete in yellow is INS for insert. Hit that squared again. Isaiah?
Is it okay for like doing parts? So we just do the intro first and then after we
Make it one
take that and cut it in half.
I would not. I mean, every time when you guys do things in parts, you copy something wrong, you drop the negative because you were subtracting the negative, but you did it in pieces, so then you didn't actually subtract the negative, you just subtracted. Like, it's a bad idea to put it in parts, but if you do it correctly, theoretically, it's all fine. So math, I want to integrate 5x plus 2 minus 2 e to the x, close the parentheses around the exponent, close the parentheses around all that stuff, square it, and now divide by 2. I'm integrating, Sam, with respect to what variable?
X.
Over what numbers, Will?
0 to, I guess, A.
I stored it in A, and I typed something wrong. So go to,
You forgot to put X.
Now put it at X.
again, teaching moment to show Asher how to do that again. I swear I typed it. Just the buttons don't always push. Do we agree?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Josh.
You would need to know like what to do if it's perpendicular to the y-axis.
Okay. You should. So right here, let's change the problem.
Can you just make it in respect to x equals something and then solve it?
Okay, perpendicular to the y-axis. This is going to ruin everybody's day.
You just switch the things.
Okay, guys, this is a significantly different problem. Significantly different.
Don't you just plug in the x you got, get the y, and do the integral from the y?
You have to like change the equation, so you use that
Yeah, you just do
Y
2
value.
x minus
This doesn't
y.
feel
Okay,
like that
hold
bad.
up. Will is correct, and no one else has said it, this as far as I can tell. He said you need to change the equations. They all need to be x equals blah, 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 blah in terms of y. So this equation, the curve, y equals 2e to the x, I'll do the easy part, solve for x. How y'all do that? ln. So ln y over 2 equals x. Okay, the other curve, all right, that one's not so hard. Y minus 2 over 5. Goodness, yeah. Sheesh. So the area, or sorry, the length, the right minus the left, the length of that shape, the right side minus the left. Area of the triangle is 1/2 that stuff squared. Okay. Do it.
Did you need to do it with respect to y?
Mm-hmm.
So you need
Okay.
to find the intersection.
So that's my area, and I'm integrating with respect to what's the y value, bottom y value here?
2.
2. And I knew I should have written it down, the y value of the intersection point. Calculate the intersection point.
That's 10.0934.
Top curve, bottom curve, go. 10.094. And that one is harder to get out. Which of these little letters is Y? I can't even see it on here.
What's that one?
Number 1?
Yeah, alpha one. Yeah.
Okay. So integrating that, what do you guys get?
What?
Integrate.
Hey, why did you just do?
Oh, I saved it to a letter I could see. Which, okay, you might not think is a big deal, but wait till you're blind and like standing right in front of the thing and you'll have more sympathy. So, natural log of the variable, x, which I know it's a y, but x over 2 minus parentheses x minus 2, close the parentheses, divided by 5, close the parentheses of the length, and square it. All that divided by 2. Ooh. Is the little bitty teeny tiny space? Okay.
Hey, why is it a different number?
Why is it a different number? Because it's a different shape. Because the lengths of these triangles going right to left is a different distance than top to bottom. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Because if my shape went, I don't know, that way, this length is different than that length.
What do you use the Play-Doh thingies for in real life, in the real world, or in real life? What does this do?
Lots of things get footprints, whatever. How much plaster do you need to make the mold of whatever that depression was?
How do you make a mold?
Do you like not have to put
Footprints?
the y minus 2 over 5 in parentheses? Is it okay if you?
Well, okay. You need y minus 2 and that whole thing divided by 5. You could write it as y over 5 minus 2 over 5. But you gotta be careful with that negative. Like, there are things you can do to simplify it so you don't have to. I'm just gonna do parentheses. Okay, so, you guys okay with these? All right, so I would like to let you start the exit card. It is on